Hey, what's up guys, I'm Ben. I put new snowmobile content out every week in the wintertime, so if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today we're going to be going over the aftermarket parts that I've stuck on my F1100 over the years. By the time you guys are seeing this video, this sled actually will have a new owner. I'm going to be purchasing something else this year. I'm just not exactly sure what that is, but let's take a look at what I've got done to the F1100. These are going to be the C&A Pro skis. These guys are actually kind of a new sponsor to the channel last year, so pretty excited about that. We decided to go with the XCS model, which is not usually what they would put on a four-stroke sled. These are a little bit thinner, yet still wider than the factory skis are going to be. But we went with these skis just because I kind of tend to ride my sleds a little bit more aggressively and mostly on hard-packed trails. I've got the 8-inch Woody's carbides on the bottom of these, and I absolutely love this combination. This really cleaned up the handling of this sled, mixed in with all the other adjustments that I've made to the skid and the front. Now, if you guys have been watching long enough, you might remember back to a time where I was having belt issues with this sled. If I would ride it too hard for too long or too fast for too long, the belt would overheat and delaminate, meaning the top cooling fin part of the belt would just come flying off. That has definitely been fixed by the big fin update that I did, which essentially just means that I installed a new secondary clutch, and that is the redesigned version with physically larger fins on it that just provides more cooling to that belt. Like I said, I haven't had any issues. This totally fixed it, so definitely something that is worth doing, especially if you own a turbo version of the sled. But even if you're somebody like me that owns the non-turbo version and just wants to ride a little bit harder, the big fin is definitely the way to go. As far as the headlights go, I did previously have some aux beam lights in here. I can put a link down in the description for that video. There are also Auxito lights that I think would work great in this sled that I can put another link for that video down in the description. I would say definitely check those out. They are miles ahead of the halogens that are in here. Moving around here, I do actually have a GoPro mount up here that, if you guys have seen in my other videos, is how I mount that GPS. That really works great. That, of course, plugs into the USB plug that I've got wired in here. This is pretty easy to swap out. It's just a part on Amazon that you pick up, and there's a couple terminals on the back side that you have to switch out, but this is much better than having the 12-volt cigarette lighter. I've really come to like that. Next up, we've got the goggle bag here, which I have yet to stick a pair of goggles in, but is super nice. Easy access, definitely can keep whatever you need in there warm. If you're gonna stick your phone in here, you definitely wanna make sure that you've got something to kind of isolate that from the hard plastic bottom of it. Next, we've got the PowerMed handguards, which I highly recommend. The hand warmers on this sled work great, but having these in front of your hands to keep the wind off of them makes a huge difference. Next, we've got the Ice Storm reversible ice scratchers. These things have not been on the sled all that long, but I have definitely come to love them as a rider with no previous experience with ice scratchers. These are super nice for keeping the snow on the skid and on your coolers. It definitely is worth the investment. I absolutely am so glad that I finally got a set on here. I've actually got a video that I can link down in the description where I went out and tested those. Now, as far as those studs go, I didn't install them on the track. I have to say I have really enjoyed having the takeoff and the stopping power. It does seem like maybe they've kind of helped me crawl through some stuff in situations where I think I normally would have gotten stuck if I didn't have them. But honestly, I think with all of the possible issues that you could run into, say throwing one out of the track into one of your coolers, or just if something goes wrong with the track or your suspension and something gets crunched up, it's definitely going to do a number on any of your delicate cooling components underneath the sled. So because of that, I just don't think that I would ever stick the time and money into studding a track. I mean, if they're already there, they're there, but I don't know, they make me a little bit too nervous to actually put the time and effort in myself, I guess. And then finally, we've got this giant tail bag on here that a good buddy gave to me last season. This is something that I will never ride without. This is so nice to have all this room in here. You can stick extra clothes in here. You've got room for tools, belts, water, everything you could need, food. Just such a nice thing to have. Definitely something that I highly recommend. Now, the hitch actually came on this sled, and I have never used it for anything other than just tying the back end down on trailers. Not something that I would say I would probably put on a new sled, but if you're into that sort of thing, definitely something that you could check out. So there we go. I think that's everything. I have to say I'm pretty happy with the way that this sled is set up now. With those new skis on there, the big fin clutch, it really pretty much fixed every issue that I ever had with this sled. I really enjoyed owning this. I think it's just time to move on to something a little bit bigger and a little bit faster. However, I think this is a great sled if you're somebody that doesn't mind going, well, 600 two-stroke speed. I'm thinking I'm gonna get basically the same sled just with a turbo on it just to see what that's like. I think 200 horsepower has got to be one heck of an exciting ride, but there's only one way to find that out. So I guess I better find myself a new sled. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky. If you wanna see those videos when I get my new sled, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until then, get out and enjoy this beautiful world.